Welcome to Teach or Not to Teach, the vlog that explores the challenges and triumphs of education.
We are here to dig into the big questions and debates surrounding education. Join us as we talk about the latest trends, technologies, and instructional strategies.
Because at the end of the day, the goal is to provide every student with the best education possible. Let's start learning together on To Teach or Not to Teach. Hey, educator friends! Welcome back to our next episode on To Teach or Not to Teach. We have an exciting guest with us this month. It is the climate and culture guy in education, Stand Tall Steve. So we are excited to have you today, Steve. We're going to be talking a lot about the community and climate and culture. So welcome.
Hey, I am excited and I feel welcomed by Integrated to come here and talk to you about this. This is my passion. This is what I love more than anything is culture climate in schools. So it's all about those things because culture climate can either make everything happen or not make everything happen. So there you go. Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So right now, Kara and I are starting, it's week one.
Yeah.
Week one, second day back. We're doing all the meetings with our staff, meeting new staff members, getting our classrooms ready. So I wanted to ask you, how do you handle that positive community from the administrator side when you have staff coming in or old staff coming back? What does that look like? What are some ideas for that?
Well, first of all, excuse me, a big thing about this, what you said, is most administrators don't think that way, right? Or it's an afterthought. They think about beginning of school, what meetings, we got to check this off for compliance. We got to do bloodborne pathogens, got to give the nurse some time to talk about that. We got to, do this, any other, the schedules are all ready. And then when everything else is done or close to being done, either an hour or two before the first day or the first start, they think, well, we should do something fun. We should do something nice. We should do something to really kick. Anybody got any ideas? Let me Google that. Right? Let me chat GPT it. So that's the beginning stages of how this is a hot mess to begin with. All right. We know that we have compliance things that need to be done, administrators. Okay. I'm talking to my administrators there. And if you're not an administrator and you know an administrator, tell them to listen to this. All right. We know there are things that need to be done at the beginning of the school year. All the things need to be checked off, make sure it's right. But before that happens, the first thing you should really be thinking about is what are you going to do to gather everyone together, to get them together in the right frame of mind for them to receive all the things that need to be done in a certain mindset. The way that I did it, now I'm going to go back to the way that I did it before. I would actually start that the year before.
Ooh.
I know. What? So the year before, I would do this before at the beginning of the last month of school. So if your last month is May or the last month is June, wherever you are in the country, that's when you need to start doing this. And you need to think of a theme. Think of a theme, think of a word, think of a concept that you can use for the upcoming school year to gather everybody around that common theme, that understanding. If you're needing of some themes, reach out to me. I have a document with 100 different themes that you can pick from. So you pick this theme, and then before the school year ends, you tell everyone the new theme. Actually, it's one of the things I would do. I would have a big rally near the end of school, and we would retire the old theme, and we would mention the new theme. And this gives the entire staff the entire summer. I know they all sit back and say, I don't think about school. Yes, you do. You get a good theme.
We're buying all the stuff. We're ready.
You're buying all the stuff.
Yes.
You're getting the color scheme together. You're getting the t-shirts together. You're getting the folders together. You're getting everything set. Now, you notice what I just did there. I did this so that when the beginning of the school year comes, the administrator, you can actually focus on all of the things you have to check off because that's already set. So now when everybody comes in, you're sitting there saying, hey, remember our theme is cool to care. Our theme is pride is in us all. Our theme is mission is possible. Our theme is whatever it might be, right? And therefore, as you are pulling people in to be a part of something, because everybody wants to feel like they're a part of something, the
Absolutely.
new people, right? You hire some new staff. When you hire them, first thing you do is say, hey, the theme next year is this. Because what's that new staff going to do? They're going to buy twice as much as what everybody else just did.
They're making coffee mugs.
They're making coffee mugs, right? They got on there, the panties got it printed on them. I mean, it's everywhere, right? Our veteran teachers, what are they going to do? They're going to reach down to some of those other teachers and say, hey, help me out. Kids, you got a little something, but they're doing it.
Yes.
So when you talk about giving everybody together, a theme is a great way to do it, but do it before, like the year before, and you're getting everybody's mindset on it.
I love that, because I think when we go into the classrooms, that very first meeting, none of us are thinking about all the excitement. We don't have time for that. We
No.
don't have time for that. And so starting it the year before, that's genius. I love
Yes,
Well, and I really like it too, because like thinking of it not only from a whole staff perspective, but then breaking it down into, your grade level teams or your specialty teams, you can take that theme and then, even get more specific or branch off of it for your specific teams and your kids. And, you can kind of run with it that way and, create, a whole thing
thing.
around it. Which would be
Yes.
really
yeah, you can do everything around. Now let's jump up to the high school level, all right? Because I'm sure you got listeners at the high school level, because the high school, they're thinking, I don't do themes, right? Every classroom you walk into looks like a bachelor pad. Nothing's going on in the rooms,
It smells
right?
like it too.
And it smells like it too, right? Can work even at the high school level. It can. Even though you may not go so far as to decorate every little thing that goes on there, get some school swag, right? Get some, because what do those seniors want? Seniors want anything with their year on it,
Yes.
right? And if that's the theme for their year, talk to the students the year before, talk to the juniors, get the theme. That could be the tradition. And therefore you use that. And the themes that you're picking are more motivational type statements for the high school level, right? What's the motivational statement? Let's talk, once you do your student government elections, you get those students together. You're like, okay, number one thing we got to do for you guys before you become seniors is, what's the theme going to be? Now, it could be the homecoming theme, other kind of things. There's all that involved. But what's the theme for the year? What is it going to be? Get them to be the ones to pick it. And then we push it out before the year starts. Those kids are going to be thinking about it in the summer. It builds excitement to return to school. They can't wait for it. The freshmen, you just tell them what the theme is and you do it and shut up, be quiet because you're freshmen, right? And then your staff, even they have a little connection to it. Make some few posters, give it to them, put it in every classroom.
Yes. I love the
Amazing.
ownership piece that the high schools
Ownership.
have with that. That's huge. That's absolutely huge. And it gives something for those freshmen, sophomore, junior to look forward to. Oh, I get to do this when I get up there. But
Yeah.
also, I like this idea because you think about our support staff, our cooks, our custodial staff, our sped teachers. A lot of times they don't have those teams to work with. We kind of all disperse. And so it gives them a way to feel more involved and active and a participant in the school.
Okay, let's talk about support staff, because you brought it up. All right, you pick a theme. All right, some school districts, they have an outside catering company that does their food services, all right? Or they have a food service that provides the food, even though you have in-house people. Maybe the custodial staff is outsourced. Maybe the custodial staff uses a certain custodial brand of products, right? Maybe you have solar panels on your building. This is what you do. You reach out to the solar panel people, you reach out to the custodial supply people, you reach out to the food people, and you say, do you want to sponsor a t-shirt with our theme? What do I say? No? Yeah, they're going to say yes. So therefore, you get some free t-shirts for staff, because heaven forbid you spend community funds on staff, but you get some community stuff for your staff and your custodials and all your people that say your theme right on the front of the t-shirt. Go ahead and throw the other companies on the back. Oh, well. And now you have all the other people, your custodians, you got your lunch ladies, you got your support staff. Everybody can wear the shirt and feel like they're a part of the bigger theme, idea, concept, and you haven't paid a penny.
Absolutely. And you know what? Why don't you have those ready for your parents at open house night?
Open house.
And be part of it.
We got t-shirts in the back, staff, parents, buy a shirt. They're going to buy it.
Yes.
They're gonna buy 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Now you're making money. Cha-ching. Right?
Turn that money and throw it back into teacher appreciation.
There you go. See? There
Look
you
at
go.
this. Oh, I
Now
love
everybody feels like they belong, right? You feel a little bit happier. You still got all the work. You still got things to do. You still got to set up your room, blah, blah, blah. But we got a theme. We're rolling. We all feel like we're a part of something.
And I think you can make this as simple or as extravagant as you want, depending on how many, people are involved. You have like a celebration team that wants to take it clear out, or if it's something small, you don't have a very big staff or not involved, you can make it as small as you need to. Fantastic idea.
Exactly.
Boom.
Easy thing to do.
Well, that's a wrap, folks. No,
Yeah, right?
just do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's think about your year. You have this theme, you've started it out. We're getting everybody riled up. And then what happens is we all go to our rooms, right? And then the work begins. And then we're like, great, the theme is, Mission Impossible. This is what we're going to do. So how do you continue to foster, those teams and the supports, all that stuff together when, Monday through Friday, first few weeks of school?
There you go. Here's the thing, and you're absolutely right. Things fade away. And we know that this is in every school. I've spoken across seas in different countries. The same thing happens. You start off hot, come around October, November, December, February. Are we still doing that? Is that still going on? What? I saw something. This is what needs to happen. Here's some ideas. All right. The thing I do is I love ideas. You got a theme. First theme is take out your calendar, right? Administrators, I'm talking to you. Support staff, I'm talking to you. Teachers, I'm talking to you. Take out your calendar and purposefully pick one day a month and write on that day the theme. As a reminder, talk about the theme on this day. Take out your lesson plan. Write it in there. I'm talking about Mission is Possible today. All right? Whatever. And that forces you to keep it front of mind. Easy. When you do morning announcements, whoever does the morning announcements, whatever like that, every Monday needs to be talking about Mission is Possible. Every Thursday, pick a day, once a week, have a little blurb, have something. Go to your guidance department and say, hey, can you come up with something to be said about perseverance, Mission is Possible, doing your best each week? And they're going to say, oh my gosh, sure. And then they're going to go back to their office and say, what do I do? You go to ChatGPT, you type in Mission is Possible. What can you give me 12 or 15 or 30 things to say about it? They'll rattle it off, personalize it, have it said during morning announcements. So that's the first thing, is using your calendar. Second idea, if you want to get everybody involved so they're empowered with it, you let the teachers know. Remember, we're letting everybody know the year before, right? At the end of last school year, we say to them, look, in order to make sure that we make this strong, each grade level is going to have a month, 1 month. And it's your job to emphasize whatever our theme is for that month. So everybody has a little bit of responsibility. Yes, it's a little something, but this way each grade level can highlight and showcase that to the rest of the school in some way. Boom. There you go. Kindergartners, you guys have October. Second grade, you got December. Everybody picks one. Support staff, all you guys, you have, March. You can find enough groups in there that everybody just kind of takes it and then highlights it. That keeps it going throughout the year. Third and final idea, something I like to call header footer. Header footer. Meaning, any piece of paper that's sent home from the school, either in the header or the footer, needs to be the title of what it is that what your theme is. Put it in the header or the footer. All right. If it's a piece of homework, I don't care. Put it in the header or the footer. Right. If something from the main office, put it in the header or the footer. If it's anything that you have, put it in the header or the footer. Put it in your email signature. So that way, at least the least you can do is see it, and then the parents can see it. 1, 2, 3.
I'm thinking back to giving each grade level a month. Yeah, we do something at our school where we all have to bring in lounge lizards. We have to bring in food every month and do the things. And it kind of, it forces you to collaborate and to come together and have ideas. And I think when you start to meet with your team, when it comes to be that October, November time, and we're all stressed and things are crazy, how important it is to listen to each other and the strengths that they have when it comes to that planning. You know, if something that's frustrating you, maybe your teammate is really good at it and they love that part, and that's where you can start listening to each other and doing the work, and it becomes
Yep.
more fun. And now you have something to tie it to, like your theme.
Exactly. That's what you need to do.
Boom. That's good.
And I was thinking back to his first example when he was talking about just once a week on the announcements, bringing that theme in. But like if you had a mission as possible, you could even pull student or staff examples of, you know, goals met or, you know, something that they're working on and they made steps towards. And so, you know, then you're not only, you know, reminding of these people of the theme, but then you're also recognizing people, not, you know, staff and student for some of the things that are happening with in a positive way.
Exactly.
That.
There you go. The power is in the repetition. That's what I tell people all the time. The power is in the repetition. Even when we teach students, students need to be reminded more than they need to be taught. I love that quote. They need to be reminded more than they need to be taught, which goes back to the power of the repetition. If you want a theme and you want people to be wrapped around a theme, wrapped around a concept or an understanding, the power is in the repetition. And here's the thing, the repetition needs to be purposeful.
Mm-hmm.
And assume and hope that it's going to happen. Hope is not a strategy. All right. Hope is nice, keeps you motivated, keeps you inspired, but it's not a strategy. You can't hope that everybody's going to get it and keep moving with it. It needs to be purposeful. So therefore, you do those things. You do it again. You do it again. You find different ways to drop that in there purposefully, and therefore it sticks. And here's the thing: if you actually do this for a full year, first of all, you're gonna amaze everyone, because everybody expects it to fade off and fade away. And the second thing is that just think how exciting everybody's going to be at the end of this year to find out what the next theme's going to be.
Yeah, I can just imagine the rally, you know, that last assembly, and they're, we're all kids at heart. We're very excited for things. Yeah.
I mean, I took, like, each year I would have a t-shirt for each of my themes. At the end of the year, I would get the t-shirt professionally framed, like a nice framed that we would hang in the hallway each year. I would literally bring the t-shirt framed in the gymnasium, and I would take a big cloth and I would cover it. We are retiring this theme. And then I would show them a big poster of what the new theme is, and everybody would cheer. It was like, it's just a piece of paper with some, you know, some artwork on it, but they would go nuts because I did it every year, and they would get hyped up. Teachers would say, what color are the t-shirts? I need to match everything, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and it gives a sense of belonging before going out and dispersing as well. Like the kids know that, or the staff know in a few months, you know, I belong to this, and like I have a place to come back to. I know what's expected. I know what's coming. I'm excited for it. And there's already going to be a place for me because, you know, you're already involved. And so I think that's where some of the excitement comes in.
Yeah, that connection piece is huge. Absolutely huge. We're big on purposeful. If it's not purposeful, why are we doing it? So, you know, this theme idea, it can be small but very, very mighty. You know, I think the being reminded more than you need to be taught, we have to remind ourselves as adults that has to happen a lot for us too. And recognizing each other in our buildings, whether it's our administrators or your support staff or your teammates, is constantly reminding each other of, you know, the theme that we have and what you're doing that matches that theme. You know, I saw you do this in your classroom and it really was empowering. That really goes with our theme this year. You know, just reminding them how great they actually are, and your students.
Say it. Exactly. Just say it. There's nothing wrong with saying. And here's the thing: a lot of times, what do adults always say? How many times do I have to repeat myself? How many times do I have to repeat myself? How many times?
A lot.
First of all, you're dealing with children, right? We're dealing with, forget that. We're dealing with adults. Yes, that's what we do. You have to repeat yourself. Stop getting mad about it and do it. Just because how many words are you using by saying how many times do I have to repeat myself? You're just saying those words is you're using the same number of words. Just do it.
Just say it. Just
say it. And here's the thing. We're talking about culture and climate because I love my culture and climate. Culture is tradition. That's what culture really is. Culture is the culmination of traditions that happen over time, again and again and again and again. So you tell me, if you now are doing this, having a theme, using the theme to anchor everybody. You're doing it again and again and again and again. That whole piece of belonging, that whole piece of being a part of something, that whole piece of highlighting who your school really is becomes tradition, and that becomes the culture.
Mhm.
And then let's say you're one of those schools that's like, we're having a hard time getting teachers here. You do something like this
Mm-hmm.
for 3 to 4 years in a row, word gets out. And people are going to start coming to your school like, well, I heard your school that has the themes and everybody loves being there. Your school is the school that has the theme where you feel like you belong. So now the probability of you getting more teachers coming in just increased.
Mhm.
It all connects. It all
Mhm.
connects.
Yeah.
Yeah, go.
Well, and we had been talking earlier too, you know, we're really passionate about helping not just school communities, but like specifically like teams of teachers, whether that's, you know, grade level teams or teams working throughout the building. And I think it's just such a powerful piece when in that team that you feel that you belong. Now that
Yeah.
we're not
Yeah.
saying, you know, everything is hunky dory and it's roses all the
No.
time. That's not,
Right.
but you have to know, like, you know, like Meg said earlier, strengths and weaknesses. And, you know, one who is really good at, let's say, you know, the you know, to-do lists and making sure we're doing this, but then you have one that sees the bigger picture and has some really grand ideas. And you have to be able to take everybody's strengths and weaknesses and create a place of belonging. Now you don't have to be best friends. I mean, it happens,
Right.
but you have to create that sense of belonging within their teams. And I think it's a powerful thing when you can start at the top with that whole building, and then it can transcend down into the smaller teams.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm going to do a little something. Can I ask you guys a question? Little devil's advocate. Let's say you have your team. You
Mhm.
got 2 people that's really good at details, but nobody's good at big ideas. Nobody's good at the
Mm.
other. So then you start to think, okay, I'm all about recognizing the skills that you have, but there's a certain skill that's missing within our team. So
Mhm.
then you sit back and you think, you know what do we do here? I think it's all about support then. At that point, it's like, look, neither one of us are any good at this. We got to really, even though we may like each other or not like each other, we got to support to make sure we get the things done that we can't do. What do you
Mm.
think?
Absolutely. I think it comes down to, if we were both to-do list people, like we just need the list and we're going to get it done, and no
Mm,
one's thinking through that piece. And that's where you have to have that conversation. If you don't
yeah.
have someone that can do that piece, you have to talk, okay, we got to get this part done. How can we work together to make that happen? Who can we bring in to help us
Mm,
make that successful? You're thinking, some of the best people that we work with are teachers' assistants. I literally could not live
yeah.
my life without some of the people that walk into my classroom. They are literally a part of our family.
Mhm.
And some of that
Mm,
is listening to what they have to say and how they're working with students. And it is that community in your building and around you.
And I think you can
mhm.
expand that out too, is like you said, if you have 2 people, let's just say us, that have, like, we are only good at the to do, who else, maybe even in your district, even like what other grade level teams might have those big idea thinkers that you could be like, oh, what did you do for this? We're struggling to come up with ideas, and they might be able to help facilitate you in that. And maybe one, you kind of, it just helps get your ideas going, like, helps get you started, or it's just someone that you can constantly be like, hey, what do you got for this? And I can help you in this way, like kind of that give and take a little bit.
I think
That's
that's what's great
exactly it.
about educators is we use each other. We always say 2 heads are better than one. There is no point in
Hmm.
time we could do this job by ourselves. We need absolutely everybody involved.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
And
from the administrative standpoint, like I love what you said, 2 heads are better than one. You can't do it on your own. For all my administrators, it's a lonely job.
Mhm.
Like the administration, you are alone surrounded by everyone, and that's the case. But you have to be also purposeful in the administrative position to reach out for assistance and for others as well. That's one thing I used to love to do. I would find teachers who are skilled in all kinds of different things, and that's how you develop empowerment.
yeah.
You say your teachers are never empowered, they never get to be empower them based off of the skill set that they have and pull them in to get their input. If I have a teacher that's really good with the organization and the details of things, like, hey, we got this event coming up. What do you think about this? What are your ideas on this? Because I'm not an ideas and details kind or details kind of person. Pull them in And if they give their information and ideas with it and you utilize that, what are they going to do? They're going to go back and talk to the other teachers saying, hey, this was great. I got a piece of this. I got to be included in this. Same
Yeah.
thing with the other teachers. So as much as the administrative position is very lonely, it doesn't have to be with a lot of the decision making and things that you're doing, because you can reach out to either other administrators or reach out to your teachers to help empower them to be better as well.
Boom.
And it all comes back to that community and having that place of belonging where they feel that you can reach out and use one another to, you know, create a space that's good for staff and students.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
That's it.
Steve, it is always a pleasure to have a conversation with you. Your ideas and just your thoughts around how to kind of bring everybody together in simple ways that can make a huge impact. You know, what you shared with us today, I know that there are a lot of administrators and teachers that are going to take this idea and run with it and make it their own in their own buildings this year, and just change the direction of where they're at.
Mhm.
And so we thank you so much for being with us today on To Teach or Not to Teach.
Yes, thank you.
You are so welcome. You are so welcome. Can I add two little tiny things at the end of this to help everyone? We talked about the ideas and everything like that. Now, when this comes out, some schools may have already started or not. All right. This would be phenomenal. The same whole process, winter break, you come back from winter break, boom, theme to wrap up the rest of the year. It means a lot of people are like, well, this is great, but I got to wait till next year. No, you don't. No, you don't. All right. Start teasing it out, leading up to winter break, drop it on everybody what the theme is, and then they come back and this is the theme for the second half of the year. Also, if you don't want to do it then, do it the last month of school. Pick a theme for the last month of school. Have everybody remembers how you start and how you finish, right? Finish up the rest of the year. So, hey, thank you so much for having me, ladies. I hold both of you in such high regard. You guys are doing great, great work. And here's the thing. It's like you guys are kind of filling in the other half of me. I'm great with culture, climate, leadership, idea. You guys with the classroom level, the curriculum, the instruction, pull and grab from each other to those ideas to make things happen. So thank you so much for having me.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Those of our listeners, or if you're watching this, if you want to know more about Stand Tall Steve or his ideas, please check out the links below. And if you're doing something in your building, in your classroom that revolves around theme, drop it here. Let us know what those are, and we'd love to share those out. So,
Absolutely.
all right, that's it for now, educator friends. Thank you so much for joining us on To Teach or Not to Teach.